So now fast forwarding a little bit. You deploy. Now you're legit part of the regiment.
Yep. Finally.
And you deploy to Kosovo, which at the time was a real world mission. I'm sure you were fired up. I know I would have been fired. I didn't go to Kosovo, but I would have been fired up to go to Kosovo because it was the only game in town.
I still remember when our commanding officer said we gathered up in the parade hall, and he said, "One RCR is going to Kosovo." And I still remember I was how at ease you got your hand behind your back.
Right.
My hand went into a fist. And I had to stop myself from doing a fist bump. I was just like, yeah.
You were going to become James Bond, Chuck Norris, and Rambo all in one moment.
Oh, it's going to be glorious.
So you go to Kosovo, and you know what? We're kind of joking about it, but it was a legit mission at the time. There was stuff that was happening there. I like this little section here. You're talking about the Russians because you're stationed near some Russian folks, and you said this: "We like to think we're tough as Canadians." But it turned out this Russian unit were Russian airborne who had come from the fighting in Chechnya. And we've gone into some pretty deep...
You guys talked about Chechnya.
Yeah, we talk about Chechnya in here. These guys took things to a whole new level. They were hardcore soldiers. We would complain when our showers weren't giving us warm water. Then we'd look over to the Russian camp and see soldiers outside in minus 25 degrees washing themselves with snow or out in T-shirts cutting firewood. These guys were sleeping in World War II era tents while we were sweating inside our heated barracks. And every morning they'd be outside in the ball freezing cold, running, doing chin-ups and bench pressing big truck tires.
These guys were legit.
Yeah.
And we didn't know there was some stuff going on at the Pristina airport at that time. That's why they were there. Do you remember this situation at all?
Brief me.
So NATO did its bombing thing, right? Bombed the Serbians out of Kosovo, basically. Yep. And then it was like, okay, so a NATO stabilization force, KFOR, the Kosovo stabilization, or whatever it was going to move in, and everyone was going to get a sector, British, Russian, or British, Canadian, French, blah blah blah. Right as we're like loading up on our vehicles, that brigade, or I don't know how big it was, of Russians just basically showed up in the middle of the night at the Pristina airport, which was also a military airport. And they set up a perimeter around this like mountain bunker in there, which just recently I read an article about it, and they were like, hey guys, it's been 20 years. This is what was in there. Oh shit. It was full of stuff that shouldn't have been there. So that's why everybody was like, well, what are they doing here? Why do they only want to be there? Because they were like, yeah, we're here to help, guys. We're just going to be right here in this area. Don't ever come in here, or we'll kill you. But we'll be right here. We're just here to help. No big deal. We want to be part of the exercise. But they were there to guard this like bunker, and there was like I guess there was some nuclear and biological weapons in there, and some MiGs that should never have been in that part of Europe, apparently. And in the middle of the night, you'd hear planes taking off, and nobody knew what they were.
But, nothing really of substantial events happened in Kosovo.
No.